Hey everyone, it's the Hair Healer here at Capriotti Salon, where the Hair Healer podcast magic all happens, right here at our client's color table. I usually set up my system right about here, and I sit here, and then my client's co-host sit to the left of me, and each person has come in and said, oh my God, Colleen, I have nothing to say. I can't believe you're making me do this, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you'll be great. Sit down. We'll start talking. And an hour and a half goes by, or an hour, and they're like, oh my God, how was it? I can't believe I did that. Where'd the time go? And it has all been amazing. All of them have amazing stories to tell with amazing wisdom, and I'm just so excited about this. I made this video, as most of you have probably already listened to, or you should, who is the Hair Healer, the first episode on my podcast. This is my first behind the scenes and a little bit of a talk about how my dream of this podcast has come about and what the dream was originally. So, as most of you know who have maybe listened to Who's the Hair Healer podcast episode, I grew up on a golf course called Pleasant Valley Golf Course out in Western PA, and my grandpa had built it by hand, and that is where all of this journeying starts. I lived on the golf course, and my brother, who's 8 years older, began at around 12 this fascination with being a director. So he bought video cameras and he put on plays and productions at the golf course. All well, here I was, little sister. Here I am, front and center, right? So that became my little bit of obsession with the spotlight. And also at the golf course became my other love, is the love for people and who they are and what they do and how they make their lives work and what goes on up here and what goes on in here. And my grandpa, God rest his soul, Telford, he's up there now, but he used to say, he's who built the golf course, that I would just sit there whenever, especially if there was someone new that I wasn't used to. And I would just go up to them and say, who are you? What's your name? What do you do here? And I did that with everyone. And if any of the golfers are listening to this, I'm sure they have stories of me doing that. And so fast forward, 18 years old. And again, we'll get into my journey as healing, as the podcast continues, as I've healed people and where that came from. But this is like my dream as the talk show host. And I did my senior project at a TV station. And I remember it says in my yearbook, I believe, and when I was on homecoming court, Colleen's future plans are to move to Hollywood and become famous. I was going to be a talk show host. I see myself, my two biggest inspos are Oprah and Wendy Williams. And I'm a mixture of them, or so I like to think I am. And so I always think about this moment. I start beauty school. I'm 18 years old. My dad said, Colleen, let's go get your brother from the airport. He's coming in from LA. We drive out. And I said, at that point, I'd already had this vision. And I remember saying to him, Ryan, I want to be a talk show host where I interview people while doing their hair. And in that moment, my brother said, absolutely, you can do that. And you have to believe in yourself. And this was before YouTube. I think MySpace was barely on there. And I was like, how would I do that? And he said, Colleen, get a video camera. You know what to do. Just call people, blah, 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 blah. And of course, at 19, 18, I was like, whatever. Here I am over a decade later, and this dream has come very alive in a modern way, the podcast way. And I think back to that moment, if he didn't believe in me, would I be here? So around 3 years ago, did it really start to creep up? Okay, like I need to make this work. And I was like, I'm gonna do YouTube. My plan did not go that route, and that's okay too. These will be available on YouTube. And then the podcast came, and I thought, yeah, I remember discussing with the client, like maybe I should follow like 4 clients in their lives. And then here we are today, where it's all my clients and they're my co-hosts, and we just talk about that. And so finally in the last year, as some of you know that are close to me, I went through some internal struggles. So one of the best ways, some internal struggles with some outside circumstances that I could not control. So one of my best things is I'm going to put myself into this project, this dream I've had my whole life, and I'm going to work nonstop. And the hard part is I couldn't tell anyone, right? I wanted to build this. And it all started with just a plan, me Googling, and a plan as a little kid. And here we are today. That was a little bit about my dream. I wanted you guys all to know that. That's one of the reasons why I got into doing hair. Besides giving people fabulous hair, is I love them. I ask them all these questions and I just want to know everything about you. And so getting into astrology, and I'll talk just briefly and we'll end this, many, many years ago, that was another way I could read people. I could tell their energy, tell who they are, more about them. So that's all for today's behind the scenes. I hope it got you guys excited to go on and subscribe and listen and tell all your friends. And if you have any questions or concerns, or you wouldn't have any concerns besides this is going to be a fabulous show, but any questions, feel free to email me, thehairhealer1111@yahoo.com. Like, subscribe. Hopefully this podcast will be on Apple iTunes, Google Play, YouTube by the end of next week. Good old Colleen did everything, but didn't think that it actually would take some time once I put everything on the hosting site to get this approved. So right now you can listen to it on Spotify, and every week there's 5 episodes. Every week will be a new episode, and it'll be a combination of interviews with my clients, all different ones, and a little bit of my story as well. So if you're a client and I haven't asked you to be on here yet, I'm sure I will, but feel free to contact me and say, hell yeah, I'm ready to talk on the Hair Healer podcast, because I'll need lots of people. So again, thank you all for your support. Thank you for helping me live out my dream. I love and appreciate you, all of you. Bye.